Go catch them all. Go to your McDonald's. So, Dylan, to jump onto my Urks, I don't think that you saw this, but I'm actually going to be...
You have more Urks?
No, my perks.
Okay, I was
No, I have perks. Only perks. You're like, honey, I'm out of here with the negative mood.
I'm ready for some positivity up in here.
Well, luckily for you, I brought my positivities.
Oh,
so
let's see them. It's for us.
Motorboat them. Woo! Free the nipple.
Thank you.
International Court calls for repeal of Jamaica's homophobic laws. This is an article by Donald Paget, published February 18th of 2021. The Inter-American Commission on Human Rights made public a 2019 decision finding Jamaica in violation of numerous laws protecting internationally recognized human rights for the LGBTQ+ community, and called on the country to immediately repeal esoteric laws from the British colonial era that outlaw consensual same-sexual relations with up to 10 years of imprisonment and hard labor. First of all, honey. What? Anyways, the case Gareth Henry and Simone Caroline Edwards versus Jamaica was brought by a gay man and lesbian woman forced to leave their island due to the violence and fear of death at hands of homophobic police and gangs. Quote, I know what it is like to live in fear, Gareth Henry, one of the parties in the case, said in the video posted on YouTube by Human Dignity Trust, which represented Henry and Edwards in the case. Quote, I know what it is to live in hiding and be ostracized. I know what it feels like to be beaten and left for dead. End quote. It's a real boost to see that the commission is taking our complaint seriously, Edwards said in a statement. It gives me hope that one day these outdated laws will be done away with, and I'll be able to return to my homeland without fear of attack. End quote. Quote, this major legal victory for Gareth, Simone, and the entire LGBTQ+ community in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, where 9 countries continue to criminalize consensual same-sex intimacy, Tia Braun, director of Human Dignity Trust, said in a statement. In Gareth Henry and Simone Caroline Edwards versus Jamaica, the Inter-American Commission found the government of Jamaica responsible for multiple violations of international agreements and rules. The Commission declared Jamaica's responsibility to provide full economic reparations for various human rights violations and repeal laws prohibiting or discriminating on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, and those that criminalize consensual sexual conduct between men who have sex with men. The ruling also calls for studies and other programs to stamp out violence and discrimination against the LGBTQ+ community in the island nation and develop and implement educational outreach programs to engender a more inclusive environment for all Jamaicans. The laid out case of litany of homophobic violence and actions committed or permitted by the state. Henry fled to Canada following a series of violent assaults and other actions. In 2003, he was assaulted by police in front of a crowd of 70 people, and in 2000 he was threatened by police after being chased by a mob of 200 people chanting that gay people must be killed. Edwards was shot multiple times by members of homophobic gang just outside her home, who also tried to kill 2 of her brothers, including one who is gay. Like Henry, Edwards was forced to flee her life and eventually found asylum in Europe. Despite the violent past in his island nation, Henry expressed guarded optimism with the announced decision. Quote, I hope the Jamaican government will, for the first time, do what is right by the LGBTQ+ community, Henry said on video. I'm just so glad that they're repealing, because it almost sounds like crazy to me that it's illegal. Like, I can't even fathom what that looks like. I know that's me speaking as a privileged individual. Mm-hmm. But it's like, to literally be ran out of your home would be crazy to me, and I'm just so happy that they're going to be able to return to their home and feel safer and, you know, not have the government against them, which are police, like, which it shouldn't be, but yeah.
Yes, okay, that's, honestly, that brings me so much joy. I'm so happy for the Jamaican LGBTQIA community. That brings me immense joy. I'm very happy for them. Also, happy that those activists, you know, were able to make a difference. And yeah, I'm fine for that. Okay. Makes me happy.
And I love that it was a gay man and a lesbian woman. Like, I think that's amazing. Yes.
Team up against...
Pairing the perfect two.
Yeah, like, team up against the man, you know?
Yes.
The man being
so I have another one.
The Jamaican government. The man.
Yes, the Jamaican government, the man. Which is also, yeah. Anyways. Another wonderful perk that I have for you today, which actually took me by surprise, but it makes me so happy. So, Miss Great Britain, Jen Atkin, comes out as bisexual and makes history. This is another article by Donald Paget, published on February 9th, 2021. The reigning Miss Great Britain, Jen Atkin, recently revealed she is bisexual and has been attracted to girls since she was a teen. She is the first out bisexual Miss Great Britain and told The Sun that she used to have a thing for female wrestlers as well as her brother's girlfriend while growing up.
I love her. Oh my God.
Yes, I know, right? Quote, I watched wrestling with my brother and I was obsessed with the divas in their tiny shorts. I would also fancy his girlfriends, which is something I have never admitted before. End quote.
Wow.
Atkin, an aviation administrator from the seaside town of Cleethorpes, revealed that she dated a female neighbor when she was 14 and thought she was a lesbian at the time, but later dated men and even got engaged to a man. The couple eventually split and went their separate ways when she was 22, although in retrospect it was for the better. Turns out her male fiance dumped the future Miss Great Britain because of her weight at the time. Ew.
Girl, he did you a favor, baby. You don't need him.
He did you a favor.
What's
honey.
her name?
Jen Atkins. Rather than fall into despair, she used that rejection as motivation to get into peak physical condition. Over a 2-year period beginning in 2017, she went from 240 pounds to 125 through a regimen of regular exercise and eating wisely. Quote, I eat so much better. I don't follow a diet, but I think about what I eat so much more, she told Bored Panda last year. I still enjoy meals out, but I don't binge like I used to. I go to the gym 5 times a week and I love it. It's become a staple part of my life and has helped me in so many ways. Her title reign as Miss Great Britain, which was originally for 2020, was extended due to the global pandemic, and Atkin has used the extra time to fight misconceptions. Quote, people see me as a stereotype, being Miss Great Britain in massive heels and a little pink dress, she told The Sun. But things aren't always as they appear. She also finds it hurtful that many men seem only interested in asking about threesomes when learning she is bisexual. Quote, just because I am bi doesn't mean I want a threesome with everyone, she said, explaining her bisexuality. It just seems I have more options when it comes to relationships. Atkins expressed hope that her public revelation will help others hiding in the closet. Quote, even if it helps one person to open up to their family or friends, it'd be such a great thing. End quote, she said. So yes, a little bit of bisexual recognition in Miss Great Britain. Hello?
So she has, I'm stalking her Instagram right now.
I knew it! I knew that's why you asked her name.
So I'm stalking her Instagram right now. We'll go ahead and we'll tag her in it, of course, because we're speaking on her. But oh my gosh, she's like,
you're like, oh, we'll tag her in it.
Oh yeah, we'll tag her. No, oh my gosh, she's so cute. But she's out here, like, also she posted, which I love. She posts on body positivity, and she posted like a picture of her stretch marks, which I think is really important because she's
yes.
like this. Idol, right? Great Miss Britain, and her talking about weight loss and her weight loss journey and stuff. Not necessarily that she needed to, right, lose weight. If she felt like she needed to, like 100%, that's her, But I love that she's posting like her stretch marks because, like, bodies, we all look a little different. We all have a little.
Yes, we all have a little bit of different shapes.
Yeah, we got a little bit of stretch marks here and there, like totally normal. And having somebody who is like, this like positive, body positive. I don't know if she's body positive, but to me it seemed like it because she's posting her stretch marks, which I think is cool. Just normalizing that because a lot of people, I mean, we all have a little something here and there, so. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna give her a follow.
Yes.
But oh my gosh, yes. Also, I love that she mentioned the fact that like bisexual people, they don't want
a threesome
to have threesomes with everyone unless they're into that. Like, that's totally cool, but not all of them.
Yeah.
And I have been like asked so often. Like, that's like literally one of the first things that people ask me, like when I was on Tinder. Oh my gosh, like I would match with some like really cute girl or something, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like all excited, and then she would just like ask me straight up for a threesome, which I'll okay,
like with the man,
like, oh yeah, with like her boyfriend, and I would be kind of disappointed.
honey, I'm not here for that. Hello.
Yeah, and I don't, like, no shame on their game.
No,
you know?
no.
Totally.
Some people
like,
are interested in that. But you just weren't the particular individual for that scenario. And that's okay.
And it just sucks that it's always that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At least in my experience, it's such a common question to get. And I feel like they don't put it on their Tinder, like, bio. I feel like that you should put it on your Tinder bio.
Yeah, if that's specifically what you're looking for.
Especially if you have, like, also, which I respect because I see that sometimes. I see people who put, like, it in their Tinder bio. Not that I have Tinder right now, but when I did, they would put it in their bio, and they would put, like, a picture of their significant other, whoever they're trying to have a threesome with, which is, I respect that. You're being real upfront about it, which I'm into. So, yeah, maybe be a little bit more open, communication-wise, and maybe don't ask every
bisexual person.
Don't assume every bisexual
They're into it. They'll tell you. They'll bring it up.
A lot of them aren't. I mean, there's no harm in, like, asking, I guess. But, I mean, if you can communicate it before even going as far as to, like, match with them, that would be better.
Also, don't make the assumption.
Yeah. There you go.
And on to our last one. So this is also something that we touched on.
Have more?
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited.
This is something that we touched on in one of our Urks and Perks, and I believe it was your Urk in our episode, in our second Urk and Perk. So I have a little bit of updates for you. Yes, updates. Hello. Nurse hits the road to get COVID vaccine to Native communities. So I remember you mentioning that the Native American communities were very heavily impacted when coronavirus hit in regard to, like, resources and everything for, like, assistance and whatnot. So this is a story by Victoria Mal Ramirez, Gina Sanseri, Trevor Alt, Lindsay Griswold, and Haley Yamada. And this comes from, I don't remember where this comes from, but it'll be on the blog.
There you go.
So across a state of sprawling prairies, loosely bound by lonesome highways, one infection control nurse is facing the carnage of COVID-19 head-on. For months, Molly Longbreak has traveled miles to help administer doses of the vaccine and to aid roughly 12,000 people on 4,000 square miles of the Cheyenne River Reservation in South Dakota. There is only one hospital on the reservation, which is fucking crazy. Despite pushback from the state government last April over traffic concerns, the state tribes set up checkpoints along highways leading into reservation to mitigate the spread of the virus. On February 19th, Longbreak and her team traveled to the Cherry Creek Clinic to administer the Moderna vaccine in lieu of general stores and pharmacies. The clinic is typically staffed by one person and is the only place to purchase over-the-counter basic medications like aspirin.
My God.
I know, right? Opal Morrison was the first in town to receive the shot. She said she was urged by her children to get it. Quote, "They encouraged me, but I encouraged them to come up here, but they're scared," end quote, said Morrison. Opal and her spouse both got the shot, then Longbreak and her team waited hours before their third patient. June Little Shield arrived. Little Shield caught the virus months before and spent weeks in the hospital, and she still has not regained her sense of taste and smell. Quote, "It's very scary. I don't wish it upon anybody. There was a couple of times I panicked and I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know if I was going to come out or not," she said. Only Little Shield, Morrison, and Morrison's spouse showed up to take the shot in Cherry Creek. Longbreak and her team had traveled almost an hour to administer 3 shots. Quote, "One person vaccinated is a huge accomplishment for us," said Longbreak. "One death is too many, and we've already lost people from the reservation, and it's very difficult and saddening," end quote. Longbreak's mother, Donna Ray Peterson, is one of the 500,000 Americans who've died from COVID-19. Her mother had dedicated her life to cultural preservation for the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. And Longbreak has taken that on the mantle. Quote, "In a way, it is because experiencing the loss personally of somebody so close to me, I wouldn't want anybody else to experience that, and nobody wants that on any level," said Longbreak. "It just hits a little bit closer to home for me." Longbreak and her team of healthcare workers have already administered almost 4,000 vaccine doses. The effects of the pandemic stretch far beyond the reservation's borders. Governor Kristi Noem has never instituted a mask mandate as part of her long resistance to implementing COVID-related safety regulations in South Dakota. Quote, "We are not and will not be the subjects of an elite class of so-called experts. We don't shun people who think for themselves," end quote, Noem said in August 2020. Last summer, hundreds of thousands of bikers gathered at a motorcycle rally in the Sturgis, South Dakota. Many attendees said they weren't afraid of the virus, even ensuing surges of the cases. Many South Dakota residents...
Can I just say that we did cover that